Imagine, for a moment, that every person on Earth holds a lottery ticket, one they never chose, never even saw, but which determines so much about who they will become. This is the genetic lottery, the random shuffling and recombination of DNA that occurs at conception, shaping every facet of who we are, from our appearance to our abilities, our susceptibilities, and even, in many ways, our chances in life. To understand this concept, we first need to unravel what DNA and genes actually are. Deep within the nucleus of each of your cells lies a twisted ladder-shaped molecule called DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. This molecule is made up of just 4 kinds of building blocks, known as nucleotides: adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine. They pair up in a precise pattern, creating the rungs of the DNA ladder. The sequence of these nucleotides forms genes, specific instructions for making proteins, which in turn build and operate everything in your body. At conception, you receive half of your DNA from your biological mother and half from your biological father. With over 3 billion pairs of nucleotides in your genome, there are an almost unimaginable number of possible genetic combinations. This process is inherently random. No one, not even your parents, can control which genes you inherit. This is the essence of the genetic lottery. Why does this matter? Because these random genetic variations influence a vast array of traits. Some are visible: your height, your eye color, your hair type. Others are hidden: your risk for certain diseases, your metabolism, your predisposition to mental health challenges. And still others are more contentious, like intelligence, personality, or athletic potential. Scientific studies, especially those involving twins, have shown that many traits have a genetic component. Identical twins, who share nearly all their DNA, are often more similar in intelligence, temperament, and health than fraternal twins, who share about half. But even identical twins aren't exactly the same, highlighting the critical role of environment, what scientists call nurture. This interplay between nature and nurture is at the heart of ongoing debates in biology, psychology, and sociology. While your DNA lays a certain foundation, your experiences, upbringing, education, nutrition, and even luck continue to shape who you become. For example, a child born with genes that predispose them to tall stature will only reach their full height potential if they receive enough nutrition during childhood. Similarly, someone with a genetic disposition for musical ability may never develop their talent without access to instruments and instruction. Yet, even as we acknowledge the power of environment, it's important to recognize that not all starting lines are equal. The concept of genetic privilege emerges when we realize that some people simply inherit genetic combinations that make life's challenges easier or open doors that remain closed to others. This is not just about rare genetic disorders or remarkable abilities, but the subtle, everyday differences that accumulate over time. Catherine Page Hardin, a behavioral geneticist and author of The Genetic Lottery, argues that genetic differences play a significant but often overlooked role in educational achievement, economic success, and health. Her work challenges the notion that hard work alone is responsible for success, urging us to reconsider what counts as merit in a society that prizes fairness. For much of modern history, societies have cherished the idea of meritocracy, the belief that people rise or fall based on their talents and effort. But what if much of what we call talent is luck of the genetic draw? This doesn't mean that hard work and perseverance don't matter. They do. But it does mean that some people, through no choice of their own, are born with genetic advantages that make success more attainable. This realization forces us to confront uncomfortable questions about fairness and social justice. If intelligence, temperament, and even grit have genetic components, how should societies structure rewards and opportunities? Should we celebrate achievement without considering the genetic head start some individuals receive? Or should we strive to create systems that compensate for these differences, ensuring that everyone has a fair shot regardless of their genetic lottery ticket? These questions are not just philosophical, they have real-world implications for education, healthcare, and public policy. For example, understanding that certain children are genetically more at risk for reading difficulties could lead to early interventions and support, leveling the playing field. Recognizing genetic contributions to mental health could foster greater compassion and reduce stigma, while also guiding personalized treatments. But there are also dangers. Throughout history, misunderstandings of genetics have fueled discrimination, eugenics, and harmful stereotypes. It's crucial, therefore, to approach these insights with humility and care, recognizing that genes are not destiny. The environment still matters, a lot. Genes set the stage, but the play is written through countless interactions with the world around us. Let's dig deeper into how the genetic lottery works at the level of genes and alleles. An allele is a variant form of a gene. For many traits, you inherit one allele from each parent. Some alleles are dominant, meaning they override the effect of others, while some are recessive and only show their effect if inherited from both parents. These combinations can explain why a child might have blue eyes when both parents have brown eyes, or why certain diseases are more common in some families. Genetic variation is not just a quirk of human biology, it's the engine of evolution. Over generations, the shuffling of genes creates diversity within populations, allowing them to adapt to changing environments. It's the reason why humans can thrive in so many different climates, and why we vary so much in appearance and ability. But in the context of one lifetime, genetic variation is simply the luck of the draw. You don't earn your genes, you inherit them. And while culture often celebrates the self-made individual, genetics reminds us that the starting line is not the same for everyone. This understanding doesn't diminish individual achievement. Rather, it encourages empathy, humility, and a commitment to building fairer systems. If we accept that genetic luck plays a role in who succeeds and who struggles, we can design societies that support all people, not just those born with the winning ticket. The idea of the genetic lottery also invites us to think differently about health. Many common diseases, heart disease, diabetes, cancer, have genetic components. Some people are born with higher risks, even if they lead healthy lives. Others may be more resilient, regardless of their habits. As genetic testing becomes more accessible, we are beginning to personalize medicine, tailoring prevention and treatment to each individual's unique genetic makeup. But genetic information also raises ethical questions. Should employers or insurance companies have access to your genetic data? How do we protect privacy and prevent discrimination? These are challenges society must navigate carefully, balancing the benefits of genetic knowledge with the risks. Ultimately, the genetic lottery is a reminder of both our uniqueness and our shared humanity. No one chooses their genes, just as no one chooses the circumstances of their birth. We are all products of chance, shaped by countless rolls of the genetic dice. Yet, recognizing the role of luck does not erase responsibility or agency. It simply asks us to be mindful of inequality, to use our understanding of genetics to foster inclusion and opportunity, and to remember that true merit lies not just in what we achieve, but in how we support one another along the way. So, the next time you marvel at a world-class athlete, a brilliant scientist, or even your own strengths and quirks, remember the genetic lottery. It's not the whole story, but it's a powerful chapter, one that shapes who we are and challenges us to build a world where everyone, regardless of their genetic luck, has the chance to thrive.